Chhava was marketed as a powerful cinematic tribute to Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, the fierce and learned son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, known for his unmatched valor, brutal martyrdom, and unflinching stand for Dharma. Expectations were sky-high. Sambhaji Maharaj is not just a warrior figure. He is a spiritual icon, a scholar king, and a dharmic martyr who refused to convert to Islam despite 40 days of gruesome torture by Aurangzeb's men. However, what Chhava offers is something far more restrained. A film dipped in political correctness and secular tones, at the cost of historical accuracy and spiritual power. Let's break this down from a historical, cinematic, and ideological perspective. 1. Cinematic merits and technical aspects. Visually, Chhava is a polished and ambitious project. The cinematography is rich, capturing the grandeur of the Maratha forts, the regal courts, and the battlefield tension. Costume design is authentic, staying true to the late 1600s Maratha attire and Mughal fashion. The camera work is dynamic, and some of the aerial shots give a breathtaking view of Maharashtra's terrain. The background score is powerful in places. Sambhaji Maharaj's entry is well staged, and emotional moments are underscored with stirring music that gives goosebumps. If only the storytelling held up to that promise. The performances are sincere. The actor playing Sambhaji Maharaj does justice to the emotional intensity and regal aura. He appears commanding, deeply burdened by the responsibilities of a fractured empire, and shows sparks of the fire Sambhaji was known for. But that fire is never allowed to blaze. 2. Where the film falls apart. Historical inaccuracies and ideological whitewashing. Now to the painful part. Chhava is not historically faithful. It picks and chooses which parts of Sambhaji Maharaj's legacy to portray. Most notably, the film tones down or completely sidelines his Sanatan Dharma roots, his refusal to convert, and the true horrors of his torture and death. Let's be clear. Sambhaji Maharaj was a Hindavi Swarajya Rakshak, a protector of the Hindu Dharma and its civilizational continuity. He was fluent in 14 languages, authored Budbhushanam in Sanskrit, and upheld Vedic values while also being a pragmatic military leader. He was captured by Aurangzeb and offered mercy if he converted to Islam. He refused. The torture that followed was inhumane. His tongue was cut, his eyes gouged out, his limbs mutilated. Yet he did not bend. This is the real Sambhaji. This is the fire of Dharma. But in Chhava, these events are heavily muted. The narrative is twisted into a more inclusive format, focusing on secular themes like harmony and coexistence. While unity is important, truth is more important. And truth is Sambhaji died for Dharma, not for some vague humanitarian ideal. Aurangzeb, one of the most tyrannical rulers in Indian history, is portrayed in a manner that feels softened. His atrocities, especially the brutal execution of Sambhaji, are not given the weight and horror they deserve. The trauma, the sheer scale of persecution of Hindus under his rule is whitewashed. It's as if the film fears offending some modern sensibilities more than it respects the truth of history. This is not just a creative choice. It is an ideological compromise. And it deeply affects the film's integrity. 3. Missed opportunities in character and legacy. Sambhaji Maharaj was not only a king but a spiritual warrior, a poet, and a visionary. His dialogues with Christian missionaries, his strategies against Mughal warfare, and his contributions to administration are vast. None of this gets real space in the film. Also absent is the portrayal of his connection with his father's ideals of Swarajya. Sambhaji wasn't just fighting external enemies. He was holding the Maratha Empire together during a time of internal conspiracies and external invasions. His strength came from a deep well of dharmic conviction, something Chhava refuses to fully acknowledge. The film also fails to delve into his intellectual legacy. For a king who was as much a philosopher as a warrior, the script gives him very little to say that reflects that depth. The dialogues are dramatic but lack the weight of his historical intellect. 4. The secular chasani, a sweetener that spoils the dish. The biggest issue with Chhava is the lens through which it chooses to tell the story. Instead of proudly showcasing the religious and cultural identity of Sambhaji Maharaj, something he gave his life for, the film opts for a secular everyone is the same approach. This kind of storytelling works in fictional films, but not when dealing with a real historical figure who was tortured and murdered because he stood for his dharma. To make such a life story secular-friendly is not just dishonest, it is disrespectful. Yes, unity is needed in society, but that unity must be based on truth, not distortion. Ignoring the core of Sambhaji's martyrdom, which was the refusal to abandon Sanatan Dharma in the face of death, is equivalent to erasing the purpose of his sacrifice. Imagine making a film on Bhagat Singh and downplaying his revolutionary ideals. Or showing Jesus Christ but skipping the crucifixion. That's how it feels watching Chhava. 5. Final verdict. Visually grand, spiritually weak, Chhava is a film that had the potential to awaken a generation. It had the chance to bring to light one of the greatest stories of resistance in Indian history, but it chooses safety over truth. It is visually grand but ideologically weak. It touches the story of Sambhaji Maharaj but doesn't embrace it fully. It shows the king but not the dharma he stood for. It shows the torture, but not the conviction that refused to die. Rating, 5.5 out of 10. Points for visuals, music, and performances. But massive deductions for historical dilution, ideological compromise, and lack of soul. If you want to see Sambhaji Maharaj, watch the movie. If you want to understand Sambhaji Maharaj, read his history. And if you want to feel Sambhaji Maharaj, close your eyes and chant, Jai Shambhu Raje, Jai Hindavi Swaraja. Subscribe for more honest reviews, real history, and unfiltered truth. To explore the untold divine legacy of Sambhaji Maharaj in its full glory, purchase one of our sacred vaults. Get the full Sambhaji bundle here. https://vikramaditya.store/comment. Jai Shambhu Maharaj and revive Sanatan Dharma with us.